I'd like to first of all introduce my partner today. His name is Jagger. We own in partnership with Eye Candy. He is going to be daughter Amy's next superstar, we predict. My name is Ian Millar. Most of my life I have ridden for Canada on Nations Cups teams. It's my proudest moment to represent our country in a Nations Cup. I've been doing it since 1971, and I have represented Canada at 10 Olympics, which happens to be a record for any athlete, any sport in the world. Today, I am going to talk to you about lunging and the common errors that are made, and just how to really keep your horse and yourself safe while you're doing this. First of all, proper lunging will never hurt a horse. In fact, it'll only do good. Bad lunging, that's a whole different subject. So let's start off with the way this horse is dressed. He has a bridle. The lunge line goes over his head and is snapped to the other side. He has side reins to the girth, and I leave the stirrups dangled. They could be up, they could be off the saddle, that's your choice. The reason I leave them, it's part of what we call desensitizing a horse. So as we're working, these will bang around on his side, and he's got to learn to accept that. If I walk up on right angles to this horse, believe it or not, by the time my eye recognizes those hind feet are coming at me, it is too late. I'm on the ground. So I never walk up on a right angle. If I'm going to walk up to a horse, it'll be on a 45-degree angle like this, and I never walk up and leave the lunge line like this. I'm always keeping that lunge line under control so I can control the horse. The other thing, rarely will I stand right in front of a horse, because if they really have a psychotic break, they will go straight forward and come right over top of you. If you're off to the side, that's highly unlikely to happen. So we're going to start this horse off, and he knows my cues. Your cues are an individual thing as long as they are consistent. They must be consistent. When you're letting a horse out on the lunge line, again, you'll see so many people are back here as they're letting the horse out. That is extremely dangerous, because even the quietest, best trained horse can be startled and or make a mistake somehow. So when I'm letting a horse out on the lunge line, again, I'm at my 45-degree angle, and I say walk on. So that would be my cue. The lunge line never drags on the ground. I like them right out at the end of the lunge line. Come on, get out to the end of the lunge line. And this hand is pointed at the ring of the bit. This hand, the whip, is pointed right at that hip. So I'm really holding this horse between my leg, seat and back, and my hand, the same way as if I was riding him. Next common mistake is people walk more than the horse when they're lunging. When I'm lunging, I will stay in this circle right here, and all that will happen is my right foot will keep moving around my left foot going this way, and the converse on the other side. So I've asked him to trot, and what I'm looking for is an athletic, rhythmic trot where what we call track up. And what that really means is that his hind foot will come forward and step in the imprint of the front foot. That's tracking up. So slow the trot. Whoa to the walk. So this horse is very well trained to the aids, as you can see, to rut, to rut, to rut. Slow, slow, slow. Right there, he's tracking up beautifully. Now I'm going to make him over track for you to rut. But that's pretty much, we call it a working trot, tracking up, whatever. And we all are in search of collection. And I read a piece the other day that really struck home with me, and the idea was the collection is not something that you initiate. Collection is a byproduct of forward, straight, balance, and rhythm. If you have those 4 things, you automatically have collection. So somebody says, how do I collect a horse? Well, you ride him forward, and you ride him in a straight line, and you balance him, and you keep a rhythm. And canter, slow, oh, ho, 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 oh, to the trot, slow, 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 ho, canter, canter. Good, that was a way better transition. The other one was too rushed. Oh, to the trot, oh, slow. So, transitions, 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 whether you're lunging or riding, whenever you think you've done enough transitions, do as many again. You can never do too many transitions. It would be the same as if you decided to take up boxing. You'd be amazed at how much time the coach will talk to you about footwork. If you decide to be a football player, how much time you will spend on footwork. Well, it's the same with today's show jumpers. It's so much about footwork. Oh, to the walk. Oh, stay. So everybody again does it a different way. This horse will recognize this cue. When I put the whip like that, he knows that I'm going to walk up to him and the training is over, and he can anticipate a reward from me, positive reinforcement. So as I walk up again, I move to the front. So I'm coming in on a 45-degree angle, and I keep this lunge line where I can control it. And as I walk up to him, I'm studying his body language. If he all of a sudden were to get tense and be walking towards him, I would stop in my tracks and I'd wait for him to relax. Because if I come into his space too fast, I'm going to get a negative reaction. So he's inviting me into his space, and what he's anticipating is that. Good boy. So that is the basic idea of staying safe for your horse and for yourself in lunging.